It was earlier in my life that I really utilized astrology more, like, more, what do they call, religiously, um, especially dealing with people, looking at their charts and stuff. I guess my excuse is I don't have my paperback ephemeris on hand. It's just easy to open that up and look right at it. And I was noticing, well, you know, that's a stupid thing to do, is to stop doing astrology, especially regarding your personal relationships, other people. Always I've had an edge. It takes energy, but it's the right energy. It's like the right expenditure, and it enables your study to continue. Why I'm mentioning this is this week we have Sun in Mercury ruled Gemini, and then the new moon is coming up on the 17th in Gemini, and that happens to um, square Neptune. It's basically kind of squared now. Let's see where the Sun is here on the 13th. 21. If you give it a 6-degree orb, it's the Sun is now technically moving into square to Neptune. Mercury ruled Sun. Mercury has popped into Gemini, and it's going to move quick. And see, by the time we get down to next Sunday, it's going to be squaring. Mercury is going to square Neptune, and this is a time, to me. It's like, okay, it's really deceptive time right now with communications, travel. I think I already mentioned, I mean, the thing that is really active is Venus squaring Jupiter, which is like the loss of resources and money. Like right now is a heavy duty week. It's one of the more intense weeks in astrology. You see, I have a Jupiter square Neptune kind of in my chart. It's there, and it says one of the things I should do. Uh, because, well, the combination Neptune being in Sagittarius, that's my generation, um, squares Jupiter in Pisces, particularly. It's like, maybe don't um, go on that trip overseas or on the water or on a boat. And my experience of the ocean has been like, I've been very frightened of it. I got to where I was able to handle it and swim in it and surf and things like that. But of course, you want to respect the ocean, and you can easily have a terrible experience. And that's me in a handbag, being afraid of water for a while until I finally learned to swim. And of course, I can swim like a fish. I love swimming, but it's a big be careful, right? Because at any moment, I mean, all you have to do is inhale really deep, and you're dead. Kind of like, not really though. It's surprising to hear about people surviving drownings. Anyway, I'm talking about Jupiter square Neptune. Just a big haphazard with the water, I guess. You want to watch out, or other things it points out. So, but in the sky, you would pay somebody to look deeper and to say these things. I mean, gosh, travel is a big question right now. Is it worth it with how much it costs, and where are we going? See, this is the thing that the agenda, the last 3 years has disrupted travel and everything, and they call it like essential work and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I've been reduced down to essential travel. Screaming out for help, really kind of the thing that really needs to be done, and needed to be done, and still there's an opportunity for it to be done. It's got to happen. It keeps coming across my mind. It's like, oh my God. If the human organism was smart, if people were smart, they would form networks that supported. Now it would just have to be like-minded people. And I think Jesus was reported to have said that, well, gather in my name one. The trick is like two or more. More than one people in my name, and you're very powerful. Well, it's like, okay, so basically what she's saying is like, try and find a partner. So that's basically where I'm at. It's like it's the biggest thing. Really, it's the biggest thing. If you look at my chart, that's easy. All this person is looking for is her, no, I wouldn't say my other half. I almost said that, or my better half. No, there's just possibility of finding your complement. And well, it's work, right? Everybody knows that. I mean, who doesn't know? But Libra knows best that relationships take work. I'm throwing up and tossing up. It's like, well, I've had great love relationships, very deep associations. I have nothing but soulmate, soul flame interactions. We are helping each other transform into who we will be, or who we are, or who we need to be, or what we need to be for each other right there. It's answered by God by having each other there. And so, in other words, I'm not having a blank experience just because I didn't get married and do the usual thing. I mean, I see people suffering in that, but I see suffering everywhere. So I'm not saying any one way is better than the other. But I think love is able to live more freely without being institutionalized. Okay, set that there, turn the page. What I was trying to talk about. See, this thing is like, thank God it's at 27. It's away from my Venus. Um, but there's a lot of deception in the sky right now. In the sky, with the new moon squaring Neptune. Think about it. Man, be careful of being too unclear. The subconscious programming of all of the, say, the things that children do to skip out on say, to being, on being present. Basically, just being present. Instead of it being a gaslight or shifting responsibility or just masking it or setting up a smoke screen or, like I said, just masking it, a facade. Neptune is very much pointing at that kind of thing. In and of itself, it's a highly spiritual. It doesn't have to be as blindsiding, but we're looking at a blindside because of the square. There's a chance to heal. In fact, there is a lot of healing energy with the sun in Gemini. Is a Mercury ruled thing. That's getting started. It's time to move. But it's not free of the issues of like, okay, so what does Neptune have to, the holographic field of Neptune is in Pisces. It has to do with our subconscious programming, the deepest ocean, the oceanic field of our emotional output and input, my feeling today with all of it is coming on is like, God, people are such a fucking waste of time. I'm sorry, but it's like I'm nearing 50 now, and you know, I hate to, don't be judgmental. I'm not judging an individual. I'm just saying, basically, you can really waste a lot of time thinking that people were the answer. I know I've said that once before, but I'll say it again. Truth is always going to be the most right answer, kids, and it could include the truth about people. Let's move on to Neptune squaring the moon. Coming up, we have the new moon in Gemini, which is highly healing. See, by the time we have moon in Gemini, Mercury has gone into Gemini, which is like, God, what a great thing, what a great time to try and make sense a little bit, especially for us communicative people, Libra, Aquarius. Libra and Aquarius, everybody needs to learn to speak up and talk, and that's what Gemini rules. Is just like, can we talk? Can we talk? See, the problem with being in an abusive relationship or something that is increasingly bad, well, the reason why it's bad is because the communication is not there. Nobody's looking in each other's eyes and being real with the most inner depths of our feelings. What we our inner needs, if we don't meet them within ourselves, and how do we know that? Why would we care about that happening for other people, or even being able to be there to even have a conversation, let alone provide any kind of support or anything? But see, with the Neptune in Pisces, babes, you don't understand. The Neptune at 27 late degree Pisces, talk about a full cup of what? Okay, we have an ocean out there. If you taste it, it's salty. Now, if you cry, even if it's laughter, cry laughter, taste your tears, it's the same salty, huns. They say that this world is sown with seeds of sorrow. And good sign of it is the amount of tears that people are crying is creating a huge ocean out there. It's just why? Well, look whatever the story is that goes on, that is it a good story that hangs on to our psyches? It seems that that's the only stories that we move to is the sad and the tragic, and that's the Saturn and Pisces subconscious freaking structuring now. But see, the Neptune and Saturn are in the same sign elementally. So thank God for Saturn there. I really say it's kind of sneaky. It's like we don't thank God for Saturn for anything, but being in Pisces, we could probably build a boat. We can, it's a structure, and now we can float, be buoyant. How? But it's still inhospitable. Who wants to live on a fucking boat? You would have to make it a big enough boat for me anyway to not notice the damn thing rocking around. Like I said, I have Jupiter square Neptune over there. It's like, no, I love swimming around, but I would rather be on land. In fact, I would rather get up, and make sure that there isn't a chance that a tidal wave is going to get us. So, oh God, babes, it's really hard for me as a musician. Thank God that there is an outlet of any kind of expression. You need expression. You need poetry. You need to question, like, why do I even watch this kind of material or art, or what does it do for me? Neptune and Pisces, it's very spiritual. I mean, it's not a bad place in and of itself. It's at home. There, you can't ignore that, And so if the sun, something happens like with the sun here on the 17th on Saturday, um, and then the moon, well, it's looking like it's more exact it's looking like it's more exact on Sunday, because the sun hits 26 and Neptune's at 27, Pisces, mutable square. It's a big week. Gemini is hitting 11 degrees. Now, these numbers that come up like in conjunction with when the full moon is happening, we have an 11 degrees Venus in Leo and an 11 degrees Mercury in Gemini. See, I'm an 11, and I know I'm getting a better, I just kind of have a better knowledge about what that is. Okay, it's the sign of the warrior. Those pillars, that's a sign of warrior. That's all I could say right now. It's a very strong energy. So yeah, there's two 11s on that day, let alone that Pluto went into Capricorn. It's really um, spinning our karmic debts into play again. That's the best way I could just try and finish that sentence up. With the Pluto and Capricorn, babes, we're going to get over this. It's not in the dark ages forever. Really, this is what it reminds me of. It's like, oh my God, but look at it. Look at it. How that change has to happen, What are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do for money that we like to do that is actually good for us? See, big money has us doing things that are so not good for us. Just to say it like a 5-year-old. Oh, see, one of the main things it'll have you brainwashed over is what's good for us or what's not good for us or what's bad for us or not. It's just make money and that's it. However you do it. I had a conversation with a 16-year-old, was that last summer or the summer before? Who he was 15 actually, and I tried to explain to him what big money is doing, but I realized I was explaining this to a certain kind of person, family, that I swear, I mean, they're on the planet here, man, and they are just money fucking. They are so bent on making money. Not a problem, but the quality of their human relationships suck. It is a living hell. They don't care. It's part of the popcorn show that is out there keeping itself very busy, and they forget why they get up in the morning and stay busy anymore. Now, pointing at the faction of fucking people called narcissists or the non-human, let's just say it's just these people that are harnessed up saying, oh, you have free human energy and you don't know what to do with it. You don't know that you are it. You are the free energy that we're looking for. Just if you can spiral into us and spin away in our rat wheels over here and run this war against what? Fuck. Hope you didn't have any ideas here, especially like, did you want to stay healthy and feel good? Did you want to feel good? Well, too bad. You have to and you got to do all this stuff. And it was like, phew. I'll probably see the day, if anything, I'll probably be the leader in the Western Hemisphere, just sell out, just try and get out from under all of this shit before it fucking names you. And just, walk in the sun. You don't have to gather a bunch of people around you. Just mind your own business, right? Where am I going to go? See, I would like to get back to, wouldn't it be nice to share this life of just going like this? Fuck it! Yeah, you thought it meant something. No, I have worked for so many multi-millionaire people who, now if you're an empath, you can relate because they'll get you'll get in these situations with particularly these kinds of people who are going like this. It's like a cerebral narcissist. Finally, they get up to like the age 70 and they go, what was my life all about? Oh, I have this and that, and I worked 25 years and I sent them to college for what, Shauna? I'm like, well, it helped me out a little bit. Thanks for doing it all. I was able to buy some gallons of milk. I'm glad to be here for you while it's breaking all down. Not just around me, really, it's always constant change, right? Who gives a crap? I mean, wow, amazing. You work that long doing what with widgets that... I'm glad it wasn't toxic waste, but it could have been a little bit more useful than what it was, as far as the factory, and what money is doing. It's just like, oh, really? It really fucking bugs me. It really bugs me, and I want to see a day that people start getting more creative and having fun with simple pleasures that money can't buy.